So welcome to the back and foot mask training video. So what you got to do to set up is you're going to come over to our CMT cabinets first. So what you're going to grab from in here is the large orange yellow rubber bowl first, and the back mask, as well as one of the paint brushes. So it's kind of deep in here in the back. You might have some stuff on top, but just go ahead and stick your hand in and pull out any of the paint brushes. Some are 2 inches, some are 4. Doesn't matter the size. Just go ahead and grab one. And for this service, you're going to need two hand towels and one of the foot wrap towels from the cabinet, as well as one of the hot packs. So what you'll do is you'll bring everything over to the sink. So with your mask, you're going to grab one of the larger spoons and open it up. And depending on what you're doing, if you're doing the foot mask, you'll need a little bit less. If you're going to do a back mask, you're going to need a little bit more. But rule of thumb, kind of 1 big tablespoon. And then for the back, you might need a little extra, just an extra half. So just go ahead and scoop it and toss it into your yellow bowl. Okay. Your paintbrush, you're going to want to make sure you get it wet before you take it to your room. The reason for making it wet is that the bristles are not the softest thing in the world, so you want to give them a little extra help to be a little softer if they're wet. And you'll go ahead and take your 2 hot towels, get them nice and wet, and squeeze and roll them out. For your foot mask, you will need 4. Okay, back mask is 2, foot is 4, because you're going to need for each feet. So 2 for each foot, and for the back you'll just need the 2. Now that you have everything ready to go for your back mask, you have your client here. So you'll have done all your work on their back first. So go ahead and do your whole back massage. Make sure that the back is all nice and warm and ready to receive the back mask. So they'll be uncovered already. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your paintbrush. Remember, it should have been damp and inside your cavity for a little bit, just to keep it from being cold. Okay, then you're gonna grab your cup of the back mask. You wanna warn your client that may be a little cold. All right, see, I'm gonna apply the back mask now. It may be just a tad cold, okay? So just be ready for it. So you're gonna dip your brush into the mask. And you can choose which way you want to paint it on, but you want to make sure you go in the same direction for the most part. So you can go back and forth. You could go up and down, however you want to place it on, but you just want to get it a nice coat. You don't want it to be too translucent, but you don't want it to be too thick either. So just make sure you cover all the back. So the reason you want to have that brush wet is because then the bristles aren't so stiff as you're doing this. So it feels nice and relaxing for the client because it's this nice brush. They don't know it's a paintbrush, guys. So make sure you keep it that way so that they'll really go ahead and enjoy. So you want to make sure you get all the way up. Make sure you get all the way out to the shoulders. Because remember, this mask is going to be releasing all the toxins from the skin because of the clay, but it's also got that cooling property to reduce the inflammation. So especially because we have so many people with a lot of shoulder issues, you want to make sure it's all the way out to the shoulders. And don't go up into the neck though, because that's going to be really hard to remove when you get it in there. So you can go ahead, once it's all the way on, give it a few quick strokes just for them to relax. And go ahead and just put your brush and everything down. And you're going gonna grab one of your nice hot towels from your cabbie. Go ahead and open it up, give it a quick shake. Remember, they're nice and hot. And you gotta be kind of careful with laying this down, but you're gonna start it way at the back and bring it all the way down. Go ahead and adjust it, make sure it's covering all the mask, and just placing it on and covering all the area. Then you're gonna take the same towel that you use for your foot wraps. So you're gonna go ahead and lay that across the top to keep any dampness, you know, so go ahead and adjust it as needed to make sure you cover everywhere, okay? Then normally this will be in your cabbie. I just didn't have room for all this. You take your nice big hot pack and lay it down over the middle of the client's back and cover them up. So make sure everything's all covered in there. So you want to bring if it flops down around their neck, that's okay, because then it can just put some heat on the back of their neck. Make sure everything's nice and covered, so you want to pull it a little more forward than you normally would. And continue to proceed to do your leg massage. So the back mask needs to be on there for 7 to 10 minutes, because at the 7-minute mark, that's when it'll go cold and it'll start that mentalization process of things that's going to reduce the inflammation. So you do have to make sure you wait that whole time before you move on. So if you're someone who tends to do legs a little bit faster, you're going to have to drag it out just a little bit to make sure that there's enough time. But remember, this is added to either a 60 or a 90-minute service, so you should have plenty of time to be able to work it around to make sure that your client gets that full 7 to 10 minutes. But for training purposes, we're gonna go ahead and remove it right now. So what you do is, once it's been sitting, you're gonna go ahead and pick up and uncover your client. Go ahead and roll up your heat pack, put it aside, and take off the towel. Again, all this will start going in your bronze bucket. What you're gonna do is you gotta come to the back end of your towel here, and you wanna just kind of grab it, give it a good grip, and pull, because you're gonna get the vast majority of this mask off right now. So go ahead and make sure you pull as much of it off as you can, swipe it across, and remove. So it's okay that there's a little bit left. You'll put this inside of your bronze bucket. Right now I have a green one, so we're gonna use that. Then you grab one more hot towel. So now this is nice and warm. So you go ahead and use that to wipe off the rest of your mask. So just go ahead and nice easy strokes, remove all of that mask. The towel is warm, so they'll like it. It feels good. You want to just give them a nice few good pats with the towel to keep them warm. That's great, because remember, it'll have gone cold, so they're a little chilly. Last step is take your stress relief lotion and go ahead and take some. And remember, this is just a lotion application, so you're not doing any extra massage here, but you're gonna go ahead and just rub all that in, because it's got a little that peppermint and menthol scent to it as well, so it kind of fits in with that mask. Just go ahead and make sure you place that all the way. You can put it up the arms a little bit. Just a nice little lotion application. And then you'll go ahead and cover them back up and continue with your massage. All right, so now that you're gonna do, the foot mask is replacing your hot towels in your service. So keep that in mind. You are not doing the hot towels and then the mask. They're kind of rolled all into one for this part of your service when you add it on. So go ahead and grab the same size towel that you would use for just your regular foot wrap, and you're gonna grab your 2 hot towels after you apply the mask. You don't want to grab them before, because then they'll start cooling off while you're applying. So grab your cup and your brush. Just bring them back to the fireplace, easiest place to put them, unless you're in east-west, that doesn't have one, just go ahead and put it on the windowsill, just something near your feet so that there's room. So go ahead and take your towel and place it under the feet just like you would do for your regular hot towel wrap. But then you're gonna wanna kind of pull it up a little bit because this is gonna go higher up on your feet. So what you're gonna do is gonna take your mask and go ahead and brush it on. So this is going about mid shin here. So you don't wanna go too high, but mid shin, and bring it all the way. Up at the top of the shin, you don't really want to put it underneath because it's going to hit the sheet and then it's going to get it wet. But just go ahead and brush it all the way up. Make sure it's all the way in the toes. You can put your cup in between the 2 feet there to be able to get it. Grab the back. You want to make sure you get under the heel, all the way up the side, and all the way on the bottom of the foot. Go ahead and you can place it down in between. Just make sure it's all over there. If it gets on your hands a little bit, guys, that's fine. Just make sure you place it all the way. And go ahead and brush it onto both feet. Go ahead and relax your foot there before you put the towels. Just go ahead and brush it on both feet. Yeah, it takes an extra minute, but you want to make sure it's everywhere so that the mask fully gets into these feet, because the benefit of it on your feet versus your back is that we put so much pressure on our feet all day from all the standing and everything. So this releases that tension that we're holding all in our feet from standing all day, and it makes you feel like you're a brand new person because now your feet feel light as air. So then you'll go grab your hot towels. Okay. 2 towels. Go ahead and place them in your bucket while you're waiting. Unwrap it, and you want to make sure you get it up higher. So for this, it might be easier to do your towel around the foot the long way so that you can get it up higher on the foot and get it all the way around where you've placed your mask and get it all nice and covered. And again, wrap up your foot just the same as you would for your regular hot towels. So go ahead and do it the long ways to wrap it up around the foot. Get it all the way under where your mask is. And do that, and then go ahead and cover them back up. So again, on the feet, it needs 7 to 10 minutes. So go ahead and do your arms, do the neck, however long. Because of the mask, it's more okay to leave it longer than when you have just the regular hot towels, because the mask is continuing to work even if the towels have gone a little cold, because remember, at that 7-minute mark, it goes cold anyway. So if you're working on your neck and your arms and it takes 15 minutes, that's okay too. Just make sure you come back to it before you do your legs. So when it's time to come back, go ahead and unwrap. And again, you want to do 1 foot at a time. So you'll unwrap and kind of unhook it a little bit, but not all the way, but same like with the back. You're going to kind of grip here up at the top and pull down, lift up the foot, and pull as much of it off in that moment as you can. So you'll see that there's still some in between the toes. That's okay. Go ahead and grab another hot towel. You want to kind of use it more like gloves, okay? And come down and get everything off. Make sure you get the mask that's in between the toes off, everything like that. Come and again, it's still a nice warm towel, so go ahead and kind of push it in. Give them a little bit more of that heat, especially after all that cold that they've just had. Okay, then you're gonna grab your stress relief lotion. Same thing as it was with the back. Just a lotion application You can do your foot massage at this point though, if you want to, but up here you're just kind of adding that in. But yeah, feel free for this one to do your foot massage here. If you need a little more lotion, that's okay, but go ahead and get in there. But at the minimum, just do a foot lotion application, but you can go a little more in here and do your regular foot massage, depending on your flow. Okay, and then you'll repeat with the other foot. Once you're done with your massage, you've got to bring everything back to clean up. So don't forget to dump your towels into the towel bin. If it is a little bit more towels than you normally would have, so if the towel bin's full, feel free to start a load right then and there, because other people need towels too. So just make sure you wash them if there are quite a few to go with. So first what you're going to do is you got to rinse out your brush. So come to the sink, get all that mask out. Okay. Once the mask is out, you're also going to need to wash it with, just use some dish soap. Go ahead and just put it in your hand and scrub your brush, just like you would do your makeup brushes. Just make sure that it gets all nice and clean. Okay, so scrub it out and rinse. Here's the one difference than washing this than your makeup brushes, is that since this has been on somebody's body, we got to make sure that it is completely 100% sanitized. So if you've ever wondered what this big thing on top of the warmer is, this is a UV cleaning implement. So what you're gonna open it up, the light will turn off. So inside, sometimes you'll see a lot of the SD brushes, or sometimes there's a nail clipper or something in here. It's just because the UV light is gonna clean it. So take your brush and just place it right in and close the door, and the UV light will turn right back on. You need to leave that brush in there for 8 hours. So just leave it in there and don't worry about it. Come back tomorrow and take it out. You do have to remember though to take them out, because we don't want a bunch of them piling up in there, especially with all the SDs using their brushes in there. So, but make sure you do leave it in there overnight. You don't want to just leave it in there for 30 minutes and take it out. So leave it in there. Then you'll come and clean your yellow bowl. If for some reason you have a lot of scrub left, you're going to want to scoop that out and put it in the trash rather than down the sink. So just go ahead, grab a spoon and just kind of scoop a lot of it up and toss it. Because we've had that brush in there, you don't want to cross-contamination. So then go ahead and rinse that off and throw it in the dishwasher. But now your bowl. So you want to clean it with the dish soap and water. Use your fingers to get the mask out first. Then take either a sponge or the scrub brush, whichever you want to use. Soap. And give it a nice good scrub. Make sure it gets all the mask out of your clean. After you've washed it, you got to spray it down with alcohol. Make sure all the germs are clean. Take a clean rag, if there isn't one by the sink already, and just dry it down and put it where it belongs.